How to make pumpkin soup. Happy Halloween. Any time of year though, we all love pumpkin. Who doesn't love pumpkin? So this is a delicious pumpkin soup that everyone in the family loves having. I'm going to show you how to make it. It's super quick, super easy. The whole thing, I won't keep you on the line for the whole time. I'll show you the shortened version, but the whole thing takes half an hour or even less. And that's the cooking time. Preparation time, maybe 5 minutes, and you'll see. So I've cut up everything here. I'll walk you through that as we're doing this. Don't forget to subscribe to Cook Vegan, and my name is Farah. So what am I doing here now? I've got my olive oil. I've got my pan on the stove on maximum heat number 9, and I've just put enough to coat the whole bottom of the pan here, but obviously not deep frying, just enough here to saute. So I'm letting that heat up now. And here I've got one medium onion cut into small pieces. The reason why, this is gonna be blended, but I still want that cut into small pieces because then it will just cook quicker and it's easier. I've got about a 2-inch chunk of ginger, peeled and again cut into small pieces, and 3 cloves of garlic. Again, if you're, there we go, sizzling nicely. If your onion's a little bit bigger, smaller, you've got a different amount of ginger left, you've only got 2 cloves of garlic, you can be flexible. That is the good thing about Cook Vegan recipes, that you can mix and match and you can go according to your taste. So just have fun with your cooking. I always say that. Don't be afraid, try different things, let your family see what you're doing, and have fun with everyone. How lucky are we? It's the 31st of October here in sunny Limassol, Cyprus, and I'm literally in a swimming costume. We're going to eat this outside. It's about 30 degrees today, at lunchtime at least, and it has started to cool. We've had a ridiculously hot September. The temperature's reaching around 40 degrees. I'm not even sure what that is in Fahrenheit for those of you guys watching in America. But it's been amazing. So hopefully when this pandemic is over, you all know where you should book next year and come to for the school half term. Now, while I've been telling you all about our lovely weather, this is already softened and we have a beautiful colour here. We don't need it more than that because it's going to be all cooked again along with our next ingredient, which I have here. So this is about 2 medium carrots and 1 regular size sweet potato. So I just threw that in the pan, as you can see. Chucked it in unceremoniously, and now I'm just tossing it. So I want that to be coated with all the delicious olive oil and all the flavours that are coming out now from the ginger, the garlic, the onion. So good. Now, as you all know, carrots do take a bit longer. Luckily though, we are going to boil all of this, so they'll have plenty of time to soften, but I still want them to saute just to get that yumminess and everything to kind of caramelize together, because it will make a difference to the flavour of the soup eventually. So I won't keep you on the line. I'm going to leave this in for my magic 3 minutes. I love 3 minutes, and maybe even less, maybe just a couple of minutes, just for the carrots to start changing their colour. And then I'm going to add in my next amount. Now, if you haven't already cut your ingredients, the next amount is 1 small squash or pumpkin. So that has been already peeled, cut up into nice chunks and ready to go. So it might be half a larger squash or about half a pumpkin. Okay, so this has been on for about 2 minutes. Because it's on high heat, it's already enough. So I'm going to throw in, can't even get it all in at once, all this delicious pumpkin. So throw that in like that, try and get the bits I've lost. And now I just want to try and toss this in, just to coat it with a little bit of the flavour. Obviously the pan is quite full, so this is easier said than done. I don't want things sticking or burning. So I'm going to add in a little bit of the water. I've got 1 litre of water here waiting. So I'm putting in about 1 cup's worth, just so things don't start burning. I'm just going to leave that part to heat and then toss that around for all the flavours to go in. Oh. It's sometimes easier if you get 2 wooden spoons and then toss it. But That's a bit boring on a video. I don't want to look like I'm a witch in a cauldron mixing it all up. So I'm going to put that there. And now is the time I'm going to add in a little bit of the seasoning. So we've got all this delicious seasoning going on here. Just let that heat a bit. And I'm going to put in 1 vegetable stock cube. Again, you can always dissolve this earlier in some of your water. As I said, I've got 1 litre here. I might not use it all. So I'm going to crumble that in. But if you want and you have hot water ready and you're even more of a rush, that's also fine, and you can dissolve that in there. And then I'm going to add in our Himalayan salt here. So I'm just going to put in half a teaspoon of Himalayan salt, like that. And turmeric, or turmeric, people say it different ways. I love this, it's like a magic ingredient, it's such a good root. So I'm going to add in 1 heaped teaspoon into that. We all need this, it's so good, especially for our immunity during these crazy days, 2020. So I'm just going to start stirring that a bit to get a little bit of flavour in. The turmeric automatically, if it's even possible to make all these orange ingredients, the squash and the carrots and of course the sweet potato, and it just makes it even more orangey. So this soup is really going to have this beautiful autumn hues, and colours that just go with this time of year. It's so nice. And this soup is not only really nice for the family to eat, and it's such a warming and hearty soup, but it's also really nice for dinner parties. So it's, yeah, delicious. So right, I put the turmeric in. Now I'm going to add in our nutmeg. And this, I've got my little small spoon here. This I'm only going to put about half a teaspoon in of nutmeg. So enough there. Okay. I'm going to stir that in as well. And now that this has been in for a couple of minutes, again, especially that I've already put a little bit of water, you could leave this on for a bit more, but if you're in a rush, it's really fine. Like me, got 3 hungry kids now, waiting for their food. So I'm going to add in just a little bit more water to let that heat up. And I'm going to put that enough just to cover the ingredients. I don't want it too watery because we do want a thick soup. But on the other hand, like I've said with one of my other soups that you've got on YouTube, if you want to look them up, we love our soups that cook vegan. We want this to be not a puree, a soup, but on the other hand, not a watery soup. So I had one litre here, and I've pretty much put all of that in. I've only left about 100 ml out. So again, it really depends how big your pumpkin was you were using. And put that there. Now I'm going to add our sweetener. So I'm going to add agave, and I'm also going to put a little bit of pepper here. So there we go, some ground pepper, a couple of turns on that. This is to taste, so as much as you like. I want a bit of a kick from the pepper, but not too much. So I think that's okay. Just stir that in. And now I'm going to add in 3 spoons of agave. So these are tablespoons here. I've got my agave. Again, if you do like things sweet, you could add 4, but I think it's sweet enough like this. So 3 of that. And we're also going to add in a little bit of cinnamon. So I think that is just fine. So we'll put that in. So those are all done. And cinnamon. Now cinnamon, if you've got ground cinnamon, you could put half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon in. I personally got here, which is nice for this time of year, broken cinnamon sticks. So I'm going to add in 1 nice stick there, and it smells so good. So I'm going to put that in there to let that flavour go through. And then of course, don't forget, when we've finished this, before we blend, we want to take that stick out. We don't want to try and blend it and have kids or our husbands or guests crunching on a nice bit of bark. So okay, there we go. Just stir that in a little bit more to get all the flavors evenly distributed. And I'm going to add in 1 cup of coconut milk. Now this is canned coconut milk, so it's thicker, it's creamier, and I'm covering that there. So you can already see the nice, delicious yellows come out here. And as all the liquid is being absorbed, and it's gonna, I might actually, there we go, just add in the rest. So for our soup here, we've put in 1 litre of water. Again, it really depends on the size of all your ingredients. So you can see here, this is completely now covered all the ingredients, but not too far under. This, everything is still popping up. And I'm gonna bring that to boil. And then I'm going to turn it down to a medium heat and allow it to simmer for about 30 minutes. So that everything is cooked really thoroughly. I'm going to check it with a fork and then I'm going to blend it. And I'll show you that in a bit when it's done. Okay, so this now has been on for half an hour. I'm just going to turn this off. I didn't put it on 5 actually, guys. I left it on 6. So just to make sure it boils even more. Now you can see that's perfect. As I comb this around with my fork, everything is just, nothing is sticking to my fork, so it is really, really done. And it's worth as well just putting a teaspoon in, letting the liquid cool, and just trying it. Maybe you want a bit of extra salt, a little bit of pinch of cinnamon or something else. So you just see. For me, just as it is perfect. If you don't like things too sweet, you could have added a little bit less agave, whatever you want. So there you go, it's all here and ready. And I'm going to blend this up now. You can blend it however you want. If you've got a blender, a food processor, you just feel free, whatever's easier for you. I'm going to use my trusty handheld blender here to show you what it's like here. Now don't forget to find that cinnamon stick. We don't want that to be in here. So fish that out, which is not that easy to do. So I'm gonna find that, I'm gonna get it out. There we go. Come on, you baby. I want you in here. Put that on the side. And now I'm gonna blend this. So hope it doesn't get everywhere. I'm wearing white. As I said, it's boiling here. End of October, November tomorrow, and we're still in swimwear. Okay. Oh, and it's not even on. Okay. There we go. Little trick, guys, if you're using a hand blender, is find the chunky bits and then just kind of push them down. Because the more you bring this up while it's on, obviously the more it's going to squirt around. And that's it, we're ready. So there we go. We've got our deliciously creamy, just take that out now, creamy, vegan, whole food, plant-based, delicious pumpkin soup ready. There we go. So you can see the consistency. It is not too, getting it everywhere. It's not too thick. It's definitely not like a pumpkin puree, but it's also not watery. I've still got some nice chunks in here, so I'm gonna mix that up a bit more without you guys on the line. But there you go, it's perfect. And when you serve it, you can decorate it if you want with a tiny bit of cinnamon on the top or a little bit of coriander or whatever you like that really works for you. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful and helpful. Believe me, this is delicious, so it's so worth making. Let me know what you think, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to Cook Vegan YouTube channel. You can also find me on Facebook, a Facebook group called Cook Vegan, same name, and we have other recipes there and loads of people contributing, so it's a really fun way to all share our love for vegan recipes, whether you're vegan or not. So this is about not judging each other, everyone doing their little bit for their bodies, for the planet, and for animals, all together in whatever way they can. So subscribe, I'll see you soon, take care from me, over and out.